Alright. What the hell is going on, everybody? We've got Dark in the bottom right side of the map playing the ESL NA 226 semi-finals, and he's going for a 15-15. herO in the top left for Dragon Kaiser Gaming. I guess they were teammates, weren't they? But then now Dark's for Talon. Because Dark used to be on Dragon Phoenix Gaming, right? But then I guess they didn't renew the contract. And then, so herO is still Dragon Kaiser Gaming, but Dark now represents Talon Esports, which is a big org across multiple titles. Glad to see him doing well over there and finding a home. I do also love that Dark's perpetually been on the edge of going to the military since 2019 now. I can only imagine it's hats off to the pandemic delaying a lot of people's military service in Korea. This man's like 36 now. Still hasn't done his military service, but at any moment he's going to have to disappear. I do hope he gets to make it to this year's World Championship. We'll see. Now, he's going to go for a gas here as Dark, but you can see it's a very late gas. It's a very mineral-focused build when you do a 15-15, because you got to make up for the fact that you cut some workers early in order to get that hatchery down before the block came in. Now, this probe, that is asking to die. When he goes into the pocket like that, we saw herO in his last game lose that probe when he did that. I mean, we didn't catch it on camera because I was looking at the other base, but we looked back and the probe was dead, so that must have happened. Thank you for the subs, everybody. We got the Cybercore there as well. The pylon in the front, very exposed, but you can wall off with a gate there for a full wall and build another pylon behind the wall, and it's actually quite solid. So, as herO, as always with herO, there's strengths and weaknesses to everything he does, and nothing is ever done in the safest way possible. Probe is dancing around, trying to pull back right now. There is a Stargate coming in about halfway done. Dark showing the efficiency. No, I was going to make fun of him for wasting the 5 minerals there. But he decided, screw that. I'm going to return the 5 minerals before building the 3rd hatchery. And fair enough. He's going for an early 3rd queen before hatchery, which is, it's a safer way of handling the double adept pressure, because then you can get 2 queens up front to deal with the adepts and get your 4th queen out soon after. Now, one thing I criticized, I don't know if it was him or another, I think it was him, the other day, is he started his 4th queen right here at 3 minutes, whereas you can build a bunch more drones, get up to 40, 42 supply, and then build the queen is even better. He does it again off 38 supply. It's not my favorite build order, but it's acceptable. I mean, it gives you extra safety. You just really need to make sure you don't take too much damage, because you are slowing down your drones. He's also forgotten to build his Overlord for 44. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he builds it immediately after hitting the supply block, which is good. And he did just spend all of his lava. So it's a soft supply block. It's not a super bad one. Just should have had that built in preparation, but it is what it is. Zerglings dancing in and out. Good adept micro so far, but they're not finding any big pickoffs, are they? Oh, I'm surprised he didn't go for a drone there. Drone's a much bigger target than a Zergling. Oracle tries to save the day, but one of the adepts goes down, losing the lethality that those adepts only possess when there's 2 of them. It takes 2 to one-shot a drone, 2 to one-shot a Zergling. I am joking, by the way, guys. Dark is actually 28. He's a father recently as well, so it would kind of suck if he has to go to the military service right after that. That being said, I think after boot camp, you often have a civilian job. You know, you're often like, I think Parting was like stamping duties in a courthouse or something like that. He was like stamping papers or stamping people as they went in and out of the courthouse, something like that. I don't know. You know, like you get all sorts of different jobs. It's hard for a country to make use of so many tens or hundreds of thousands of young, probably millions actually, of young men each year. Oracles are pulling away. Gets a few creep tumors that were started, which is nice, but no real big damage. Twilight and Forge goes up behind it. 3rd and 4th gas is on the way as well. The adepts are still threatening around. It looks like an evolution chamber has just come up here for Dark, so likely for him to go for the melee upgrade. Now, I have seen a bit more of the Ultralisk play come back in recently, where people go double Evo. It's not super duper common, but it does, you know, it's returning. And notice Dark played no link speed until now at 5 minutes. This is similar to the opening I've been doing in this matchup. I've been really enjoying it, because I feel like just having extra queens and a bit of extra minerals to have a few more slow Zerglings to defend if the adepts do shade in is pretty damn decent. Even though link speed is great. Oh man. Ow. Only 1 queen in the main at first. 6 drones go down. That's great for not even losing an Oracle. And the adepts are going to shade to safety as well. If there's a battery, which there is, Lings ain't going to find anything. Dark is not finding the mark right now. The Stalker adept, actually, he could lure these out into the open and surround them. Careful, herO. Careful, mate. But nah, he's going to get it. He'll get the Overlord, pull back to the battery, and be A-okay, as long as that Adept stays in position, which is always a long shot when you're talking about herO, because herO and the Select All Army Key are best friends. They just cannot stop playing with each other, you know? It's just too much fun, herO and F2. Dark's massing Zerglings. He really needs to do damage, guys. If he doesn't find damage on that third, he's screwed. These units are in the open, which is pretty bad for herO. Bad positioning. I've talked about this a lot, how your units should always be in a choke point. herO just left them sitting in the open. This is something Stats never makes this mistake. Pretty much every other Protoss does. Every single PvZ. There is just no reason to be standing in the open. Always sit in the choke point. If you were sitting in the choke point, even though the battery still would have died quickly, his units would have been much more protected. Instead, that gives Dark a decent trade in a situation where, honestly, Dark should be completely dead. He's still way behind, but he gets some value out of it. And I just feel like that's a little mistake that, watching how methodical Stats has been in the last few months, I'm actually like, oh, dude, like, why are Protoss players being so lazy on this? I know why herO is. herO is a chaos man. He's never going to be systematic, but it's weird because I noticed that guys like Creator, who are a bit more systematic, were also making that mistake. And that was kind of shocking to me. I was like, hey, we should all once again go back to copying Stats. There are players that have left their indelible mark upon the StarCraft scene, and herO leaves the door open once again. Of course he does. I don't know if it's worth committing unless he can kill at least 8 probes. Let's see. Quick. herO's very quick with the worker pool. Stalkers do warp in there. He does have blink. He can blink back these Stalkers. And indeed he will. And he's not really going to lose anything. This is a trap. Is Dark going to get a single probe, guys? Dark's killed 2 probes this game. And honestly, I don't know. That was pretty rough. He just lost a ton of Zerglings. Killed very little. And that's why the door being open is sometimes a trap with Mr. herO. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, basically Stats, when it comes to just like little rules of how to be a very solid StarCraft player that cost you nothing, they're just habits that you need to reinforce. He's so good for that. herO is good for teaching us how to kill bitches, though. How to smack a hoe Zerg. Anyways, Zergling's coming in. That's going to be a problem. He doesn't have any warp-ins because he just warped in on the front. Oh, herO leaving his door open. This time it actually bites him in the butt. He does kill the 4th of Zerg. Dark's been so far behind for so long, but herO is making his life so very difficult just simply by not leaving a single unit in the wall off. And if that isn't just trademark herO, then I don't know what is. Some people out there, they go, oh, didn't leave a unit in the wall again. They go, he's throwing match fixing. And I'm like, guys, it's the day when herO does leave a unit in his wall. That's when I know there's match fixing. That's when I know he has to win that game. You know, well, not even win, actually lose. Let's be real. If herO leaves a unit in the wall, I feel like he probably loses the game. If this stays here all game and doesn't get F2'd away, probably takes away his killer instinct because he's not going to be playing with his best tool, Select All Army Key. Anyways, Mass Hydraling Bane might actually be able to survive. Dark's down in the army supply. He does have +1 melee. He's got Crew Spines, which is the best defensive upgrade. Good surround with the Zerglings, but I don't think he should chase off creep. I think getting a few Stalkers, pull back. Now's the pullback timing for Dark. Beautiful pullback timing. So look at that, guys. He kills like 8 Stalkers, gets back to creep. He's got to be careful because he's still down like 10 army supply. That's rough. Just more Hydras, more Lings. If he can get up to about 17 Hydras, he should probably only build Zerglings from there. So he just needs the Lings to tank, the Hydras to actually do the damage. Hydras first, and then the Zerglings come in whenever the Stalkers really engage into it. Stasis traps are a little scary. Got to be careful. 16 Banelings morphing. Now, I never agree with morphing Banelings in this scenario unless you're out of lava. He's out of lava. Fair enough. I guess that can help. It just kind of feels like it's hard to get a good trade, especially when you don't have Baneling speed. I guess it does prepare you for any Zealot warp-in. Second Robo-Bait, and a 4th Nexus start. herO realizing he can't break Dark, even though he's had the advantage for a long time. And you are kidding me! Not again! Not again! herO! Jesus, man. Won't you think of the probes? Won't somebody think of the poor innocent probes? It's Reverend Lovejoy's wife shouting about, you know, who's going to think of the children all over again, you know? It's definitely not herO. That's the answer. At least just put a cannon in each mineral line. I know he's been only on 3 base economy, so it's kind of wasteful to build static defense when you don't even have your 4th up yet. You really need to have mobile army, but it's definitely a bit nasty. Double Colossus production coming in, which is amazing against Hydra Bane. If Dark goes right now, he might be able to hit just before the Colossus are out, but I don't think that's very likely. The Prism! Oh, the Prism almost dies there. The Stalkers need to get back down that ramp. They do blink away a little bit, but he loses a few Stalkers and Zealots. Nice tag from the Oracle. No Overseer, which means the Observer sees everything. Lots of Lings going around the right side. The problem here is Dark has no progression, guys. Where's his infestation pit? Where's his drone count? 65 drones, mass Hydraling Bane. If he doesn't, like, the problem is he's going to move across with a max, and there's going to be 4 Colossus, right? One's already out, second's about to pop, third and fourth are starting. If they get chrono boosted, I think he's screwed. 6 more drones go down on a 4th base that was already looking pretty bare. I actually think these oracles should be at home spamming stasis traps to make sure he doesn't die. All herO needs to do is make sure he doesn't die. This is Dark we're talking about. A guy who has no workers on his 4th base. herO should be recalling those adepts, but I think recall's still on cooldown. Yeah, it is. Maybe he should just run them out. Oh, stasis traps would have been massive here. Without them, I still think he can defend, but it relies on very good micro. He needs to not panic. He should know this attack is coming. Look at the spready. Oh, jeez, that's a massive Zerg army. It's an all-in from Dark. It is an all-in. The Stalkers are a little bit clumped. They do spread out there. The battery goes down almost instantly. The Colossus getting jumped on. He does save both Colossus, gets them in behind the natural. The 3rd base will lose a lot of probes, but he's got Stalkers on all sides. Those Stalkers and batteries on the right, the Colossus on the left. Oracles get F2'd to their death, which kind of sucks, but the Colossus survive on that left side with the battery overcharge. The Stalkers clean up. He loses 17 probes, but that is okay as long as he doesn't lose his Colossus. The Prism Micro is absolutely legendary. Those Colossus, 20 kills on one, 26 kills on the other, and they ain't done yet. Now, he did lose 1 Robo, which is unfortunate. Lost 17 probes, but as a Protoss, 4 base against 4 base, you're very happy to be down a handful of workers when you've got Colossus Stalker that counters the Hydraling Bane army. Now, he gets +3 attack, he starts +1 armor, he's got a cannon and a battery on the 4th, his army is going to move out. Dark knows this, so he's sending Lings to buy time. He's going to go for the counterattack. herO does pull back his army immediately. Lings going to get a fair bit of damage, they get a probe or 2, but as the units come down, plenty of Zerglings do die. Dark is still on 65 workers, he's stuck on a very low economy, and we'll see what he can do. Banelings are a way to spend your money to get a more powerful unit than the Zergling immediately. They're very cost inefficient, guys, especially against armored units like Stalkers and Colossus, but it beefs up your army. So the reason Dark's making Banelings is just to try and overwhelm the armies, force them to spread out so the Hydralink can surround everything. Queen's getting jumped on. Oh god, the Transfusers are a little late. If the Queens were tanking while the Hydras were fighting, maybe, but he's only got 5 Hydras. Oh, he's just screwed, I think. There come more Hydras from behind, but they're a little bit too late to the party. herO is all over it from start to finish, and he does take game 1. All right, guys, Dark's going for a 16 hatchery, and this time around, herO is there to block it. Dark's mass Ling aggression was okay, but I think he really messed up when he left that main base undefended from the Oracles, and he just kind of took too much damage in the early game. So that's something Dark's really got to fix, but his CVP early game is generally pretty sloppy. I think he maybe will be a bit more flowing off a hatch gas pool opening. I still, when he does 15-15, I don't fully feel like he has it mapped out with as much experience as a SERO, or even to a lesser extent a Raynor. Raynor clearly has put a fair bit of time into that build, even though he hasn't been using it recently. Now it's going to be a nice quick Nexus there, and the probe does go back in after confirming the 3rd base, do a little bit of that probe harass, and try to disrupt the mineral mining. Something we normally criticize Dark for, not being very good at making sure those drones stay on their patch and instead bounce around like that we see there. But, you know, Dark just doesn't care too much. Dark is very unfazed. He's the most nonplussed pro gamer of them all. We were talking about Cracker Barrel, now chat saying don't go to Cracker Barrel, it's the worst thing ever created. Some people say it's alright. I'm obviously going to get barbecue, guys. But if I... biscuits and gravy and diarrhea are apparently their specialties. I think I'll go with the biscuits and gravy if I get a chance to go in there just for that. They could do like a chicken fried steak as well. Okay, so like classic kind of Southern cuisine, yeah. Cracker Barrel, you throw crackers in soup. We're talking about where the etymology of Cracker Barrel comes from, and I was like, well crackers, you know, we have crackers in cheese, right? Some people says the etymology is no. Oh, because crackers are just pale like white people? Oh, that's true. Anyways, Lings are moving into the main. Adept's going to go forward here as well. Just Google it on your own time. Oh no. Chat's telling me to do that. It means it's usually something a bit more sensitive. Okay, maybe it is a... I don't know. Whatever. I'll look it up later then. Lings do go down. Adept comes down as well. Usually I really like people just teaching me things in chat rather than Googling it. It creates discussion. It's fun. Other times people are just like, oh no, sensitive topic. And I'm like, all right, I'll Google it. I think sensitive topics usually are fine. As long as they're treated with respect. Speaking of sensitive topics, guys, Dark is actually doing all right this early game. He's got super fast 5 queens, though, off a pretty low work account. So, and he's got a lot of Zerglings out, so I'd criticize this opening for going so heavily. He's already started his 6th queen. I don't think he's going to have enough minerals to spend this 8 lava. You see, he's got his lava injects popping, but he doesn't have any money for it. Oracle goes in. Oh, he gets 3 drones, but the Oracle goes down. Adept dies at the same time. Dark, he's going to up the Chaos factor. There's an Oracle nearby, should help defend that pretty well. And the probes, and good probe micro. Did he only lost 2 probes. Well done. Dark's economy sucks, guys. He's built so many queens so early, but his droning has been massively delayed. So I really feel like Dark's opening is kind of relying on herO making a ton of mistakes. And this is one of the problems Dark has in his early game is when herO's just switched on his opening, it feels like Dark can't get that much done. And even, okay, good Ling split, but it's only 4 Lings. What are you really going to achieve with that? Not that much, right? Oracle will take out 3 of the Zerglings. One of them will bounce around the main, but not really able to kill anything. Adept Shade home. And that does buy Dark necessary time, but he's still got to build Zerglings in case the Adepts return. And that's really bad for him. Because just look at the economy, and remember, at about 40 workers, Zerg is meant to overtake the Protoss. Dark's massively supply blocked. He finally gets out of the supply block, and he's only building Zerglings. Finally, 5 drones start up. Now, don't get me wrong, herO has not been probing consistently. He's also not chronoing his probes, where I think, I get you want to chrono Forge and Twilight. I think chronoing probes right now puts him miles ahead. That is a 9 Adept pressure, no glaives. That's a crazy Adept count, but there's actually plenty of Zerglings. If Dark gets a good surround, he can shut this down. Ooh. Here we go. Adepts coming in. Drones, Lings, and Queens trying to do what they can. Oh my gosh. Okay, we've got some Adept shading forwards. Lings coming forward. Oracles are taking down the Zerglings. Adepts going to try and do some damage. They're not really going to get too much. It's a pretty good surround. The drone's actually drilling to surround and add their damage to this. That also makes it hard to focus fire them because they'll attack the Zerglings first instead, will the Adepts? But dude, Dark is desperate. You know when you're fighting with drones up against Adepts that things are desperate. He's going to quickly redrone after that. He made the best of a bad situation. He does have a 4th hatchery finishing. He can recover simply because he's Dark and it's herO. And herO is capable of throwing any advantage that he gets. So, especially in this matchup, Dark and herO are always so far inside each other's heads that they both throw away advantages all the time. They're also both really good at kind of figuring out where their opponent's weak spot is and leveraging that into a comeback. And that's why even when herO has such a big economic start like he does here, and it looks like it should just become a 2-0, we see him casually leaving his wall unmanned. We know that herO has what it takes to give Dark some opportunities in this game. Dark does start a 5th base. Oh, is he going to play Mass Ling to Lurker? Oh, he does this sometimes. I think he's going to do, or maybe a straight Hydra Lurker. So Dark is basically just going to be really greedy. Oh, Mutas! Unfortunately, the Oracles are headed in that direction. If they see it, that'd be good for herO, but herO does not see it. Bit of a spike there, guys. That was not your computer. I don't know what just happened, but I saw the game freeze for half a second. Could be one of our different live commentators in the lobby. Lagging a little bit, not sure. Lings do focus the gateway down. Alright, Stalker's taking out the Zerglings. A few of those do go down. +2's on the way, 3 more gateways. I mean, to be fair, herO hasn't taken a 4th, and his Robo Bay's only just come down. No second Robo. Kind of feels like herO's not doing that much with his advantage right now. Okay, he's going to go second Robo Bay again. Yeah, this is actually a good comeback play for Dark. Ling's suck against Colossus, but he can just mute a Ling base trade potentially, and that could work out really well. He does need to get these Stalkers out of his face, though. They're causing big problems, and he doesn't have +1 melee yet. The moment the Oracles turn on their lasers, I was expecting the Zerglings to run away, but because the Queens are there, they do keep fighting. I think Dark stayed a little bit too long. This is something a lot of Zergs have been making this mistake, is they chase the Stalkers too far. I think you have to accept that you're just going to be taking some losses, but don't chase too far, because if you take a really bad fight like that, he can just kill you now. Even though he doesn't have a forward warp in point. He's only got 7 gateways, but the Prism is coming forward. More Stalkers rallying across. Of course, the wall is unmanned right now. Dark, he's got only Zerglings to defend. It's such a problem for him right now. I think he should just give up this base, run the Overlords, send all the drones to the top base. If herO comes deep on creep, he probably can't deal with this many Zerglings. The Lings are kind of surrounding the Zealots, which are more of a problem unit. The Oracle lasers are good. herO's got this in the bag. That's game over. Dark's been playing pretty sloppy today, and herO, even though he left some openings, it was not enough. herO just overall, his openings were simply smoother and cleaner than Dark's. GG, well played. All right. We got ourselves a semi-finals match. In the top right, we got Gumiho, the man who already skewered me earlier today, made himself a nice spit roast, and I am right now casting with an apple in my mouth, as he absolutely destroyed me. In the top left side, bottom left, we've got MaxPax. Gumiho's been looking really good, guys. He won last week's Asia Cup, yesterday's Asia Cup, the weekly. He, I think, got to the finals. I don't know if he won or not. I haven't actually cast that yet, but I know he got to the finals is what I'd heard. And look at that, recalling the probe, not something you see every day. I'm a big fan of recalling the probe. You still need to chrono the adept. Yeah, a bit slow on chronoing the adept, but that's okay. All right, Reaper's moving over here as well. We were talking about different food just before this game. And personally, I'm not the biggest fan of most offal, most food. Oh, there was a new Filipino ice cream joint that just opened on Thursday, and we went there yesterday, and they had some banging flavors as well. Some like pandan ice cream and a bunch of good flavors. It was really good, man. So anyway, I'm gonna be very sad when I move out of my current really overpriced neighborhood to like a place that has like no good food nearby, but it's we'll have to just drive down for regular visits. People were talking about, imagine eating rotten egg. So I remember eating preserved century egg, the Chinese egg, the black egg. You guys know that egg. Years ago, and thinking it was disgusting, but I've had it twice recently. One was super strong flavored, but with this dish, my friend showed me, you like mix it in with this rice and it kind of spreads through the whole thing. So it was actually really nice, even though it was still very strong and probably an acquired taste, right? But I actually also had it yesterday, just with tofu and this chilies, and it didn't taste that overpowering. So I don't know if they marinate it or did a different process. So it wasn't the extreme flavored century egg. There's probably different types of preserved egg. It was still like all black and stuff, but it was actually just tasty as all heck. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to eating so much weird food now that I'm immune to it. Still not the biggest fan of most offal though. Most organ meat still puts me off a little bit, but the texture normally is what throws me. Textures are always just, if you don't grow up with them, it's hard to get used to them. Whether it be slimy or rubbery or anywhere in between. Phoenix are going to pick off. This is a good Phoenix opening for MaxPax, guys. Sorry, I'll stop talking about food. We've been talking about food so much today. I just can't stop. I'm just like talking about all the delicious food. Second tank on the way, guys. This is a crazy push for Gumiho. I've played Gumiho a bunch in TVP, and he was one of the reasons, like, I often enjoy off-racing versus pro players, and just playing random and trying different races. Playing Protoss versus Gumiho has to be one of the most frustrating experiences. He hits these oddball timings that hit so hard, so fast, and it's so difficult to handle. So MaxPax is going to get tested. That being said, he's building Phoenix nonstop, picks off another SCV or two. Don't want to use all your lifts. You've got to be careful. He's going to take a bit of damage there. That hurts. But the Cyclone has to pull back. He's going for a third Nexus. That's crazy. The Immortals are necessary, but 2 batteries being built is a good call. Oh, Gumiho has to pull SCVs. As long as he repairs with like 5 SCVs, I think it's fine. He pulls like 6. Not taking any chances. Marine and Viking come down, but uh-oh. Viking's going to die. Gumiho should have landed that. But he wasn't watching. He's been looking at the front, trying to move in there. That first Immortal is about to pop out. Phoenix are coming home. There's only 2 Stalkers in the depth. MaxPax played against Clem earlier today, and he was very greedy on this same map against a similar push. It was more of a Cyclone Viking pressure from Clem, but he got away with 1 Adept, 1 Stalker that game, and a very late Immortal. He's really been trying to get his Colossus out very quickly, because a lot of the Terrans aren't committing as hard with this push. They're just kind of hanging out here, and I think he feels if he doesn't get a Colossus, the Marine count's just too hard to deal with. So notice, even though he's losing the battery, he's taking some losses, once that Colossus is out, he's going to jump on this army and force the fight. Can Gumiho get damage before then, though? I think he can. That battery is going to go down. Luckily, he has another pylon in the back, but massive supply block coming in here from MaxPax. This Colossus better be a game changer, or he is in the doo-doo. And Phoenix flying in from behind. Cyclone's going to kill one of those Phoenix. He's going to go for the pickups on the tanks. One of the tanks is still on the ground. Picking up those tanks is nice, but you want the Immortal to actually be landing hits on them. So there is an argument behind using the Phoenix to pick off Marines, where they do more damage, and letting the Immortal kill the tanks. Maybe just disable 1 or 2 tanks at a time. Scan there for Gumiho, trying to secure the retreat. At the end of the day, similar units lost, but Gumiho has a 3rd command center building. These Phoenix need to use their mobility to take out those Vikings. He should jump on those Vikings and Marines. With only 2 Vikings, 2 Marines apparently scared him off that. Well done. 3rd Nexus restarts here for MaxPax. No extended thermal lance upgrade. He's got 2 gateways. He's going to start a Forge and a Twilight now. He's going to try and move forward to that next part. I haven't had too much like heart and liver recently, but I'm pretty sure those have more of like a muscly texture, more like a normal piece of meat. All right, like I've eaten like chicken hearts, I guess, in the last few years, and they were yum. They were pretty good. The texture didn't throw me off for those. Yeah, I think chicken and liver is like a little bit easier. I guess kidney maybe is the same, right? But definitely when you get into eating some of the slimier bits, that's when or the ones that are a bit too rubbery or chewy, that's when I get off put. Have you guys heard of, there's a clam that looks like it's a schlong, has a big schlong looking thing sticking out. It has like a Pokemon name. It's like Geodude or something like that. What was it called? Geoduck, I think it was. My friend was telling me about this yesterday, and I was like, you're trolling me. That's not a real thing. I Googled it, and I was like, oh my God, it's the most off-putting seafood I've ever seen in appearance in my entire life. Ooh, okay, 1 Phoenix gets caught by the Vikings. Guys, this is a very scary push. How are you going to stop this? Well, there's no stim and no shield, so I guess as long as you stop him sieging too close, you should be okay. MaxPax, what are we doing? MaxPax, his army's a little slow to rotate. You don't want to let him siege up here, man. He should have forced the siege much further away. He's going for it, though. MaxPax goes for the pickups. In the rear with the gear. The Vikings are going to focus down the Phoenix, allowing those tanks to drop. But the Immortal and the Stalkers are already on top. Yes, the Vikings win the fight against the Phoenix, but all the tanks are gone. Now it's just landed Vikings and Marines. 1 more tank does rally in from behind. There is still a battery behind it. Overcharge will be ready, no doubt. Stalkers could take care of those Vikings. The Colossus need to get back. The Immortal goes down. That's massive. Losing that is huge. I think Gumiho might have this in the bag. His 3rd base is mining very well. He still hasn't started stim and shields because he's gas-starved in this game because he's just been massing tank Viking. But he realized that as long as I have enough Vikings to beat those Phoenix, man, I can do things you normally can't do in this matchup, and it just feels like MaxPax is in a bad spot. On the other hand, the supply is still neck and neck. 1 good fight turning things around could change my perception of this game. Those tanks, are they in range of the Robo? No, just a gas, a pylon probably, and a Robo and a Robo Bay. Oh, even the Viking lance add insult to injury. Wow. Vikings actually do pretty well versus Stalkers, guys, so the Stalkers can't even fight that. Oh, this is a disaster for MaxPax. Gumiho's all over it. The Vikings lift off. They're like, oh, Colossus in the open? Yeah, we'll take a volley. As the Stalkers come forward, he does have to back away. Oh, no, you can't go into tank range, mate. Zealots will clean up the flank, but look at that. Tank on the right side does kind of distract him a little bit. And the Marines in the choke point. Gumiho's blocking the Zealots from getting through the choke point. Oh, that is a brilliant move. Those Marines did so well at blocking that. Meanwhile, Colossus taking damage from the Vikings. Will he even be able to deal with this? You're kidding me. Are those Vikings going to land down there or something? The tanks are still getting good shots. He's going after the Colossus. MaxPax is in disarray right now. Gumiho being a massive bag of Terran schlongs right now. He is being so frustrating to play against. And you know what? MaxPax still holds on. It feels like he's losing the entire time. He still hangs on. His supply's not that far behind. Stim is still not finished, by the way. But Gumiho has a 4th command center finished. 8 racks on the way. 2nd eBay armory. To be fair, 2nd Forge is up. There's a 4th Nexus mining. Dude, is MaxPax going to get out of this? I can't believe it. I think MaxPax might be okay. He's traded 1,000 resources worse. But, you know, yeah, he lost his Colossus Phoenix. He's killed all the tanks. 10 Vikings, 10 tanks. That's a lot of money. And he's going to go Robo Bay rebuild. Templar Archive. So he's just building, like, a Mortal Gateway unit. He desperately needs splash damage. 1 Colossus is not enough. On the other hand, Combat Shields is not done. The 8 racks isn't up. There's not that much bio just yet. And the medevac production's only now starting. That's crazy. Apparently it's pronounced gooey duck, not geoduck. It's spelled geoduck. I'm gonna keep calling it geoduck. It sounds funnier. Alright, here we go, guys. Zealot drop going up in towards the main base. Let's go for it. Zealots on the left, Zealots on the right. He's coming in from multiple sides. Does he go for the big old warp in? Looks like the answer is no. He's going to find a 5th command center snipe. That's big. Cancel. Nice cancel for Gumiho. Does save it. He scans to see that army looks like Zealots are going to win the fight on the left. Zealots are going to get cleaned up in the main. At the front, uh-oh, MaxPax went a bit too close to the sun. Time to get out of there, bro. The Zealots, oh, good on siege on the tanks. Otherwise, they would have done a lot of friendly fire. That was really good harassment damage, man. Oh, and that Zealot over there. Total of 17 workers killed. Gets an add-on or two. Wastes some mining time. As long as you can rebuild to defend the counterattack, I think you're looking good as MaxPax. And that's a big if. He's only got 1 Colossus, 1 Immortal, 2 Archons, a few Stalkers and Zealots. He's only on 7 gateways. He's on 80 probes. He's taking a gold base. Oh, man. This counter push for Gumiho might just be too much. Gumiho did have a lot of momentum in this game. He scans the Observer, takes it out. Zealot Archon getting on top. There's not that much bio. The tanks are getting exposed. Oh, the Colossus are falling, though. But the tanks are gone now. 1 more Zealot warp in might be enough. Oh, gosh. The Marauder count's huge. Zealot's trying to come in. Remember, he's only got 7 gateways. He's only got 7 gateways. The Colossus goes down. Gumiho has just enough to break through. And MaxPax, oh, he's got to be kicking himself for just not quite having the numbers here yet again. He's almost recovered like 5 times in this game 1. But Gumiho's been on a tear lately, man. He's just been so good in these weekly cups, and I think maybe going for this base, the battery, all that sort of stuff wasn't the right call. That being said, MaxPax ain't ready to throw in the towel yet. Zealots dive forwards. There's a new Colossus rallying in, but the Marauder pullback there was brilliant. The tanks didn't actually die, and that gold base is pretty much done for. Zealots are in the main tearing up the work account, which is nice. Few Archons making it home. He's going to try and morph in more Archons is MaxPax. Always want to have divisions of 300 gas, warping in 2 High Templar at a time for that. Tanks are still in range of those Stalkers. Gold base will go down. He's going to try and take out the tanks with the Colossus. With the Zealots. The Colossus is taking damage, but the Viking goes down. Gumiho, it always feels like he's kind of on the edge of over-committing. But he's got 2-1 upgrades, plus 2 armor on the way. He could start plus 3 attack and a 5th command center. And he's just got another gigantic bio-armor. You might be wondering, where are the ghosts? Gumiho does not like ghosts, guys. Builds them sometimes, but he prefers to just have more bio, so he can just overwhelm with sheer numbers, pick up half his army, go drop on the left, half his army drop on the right, some of it runs down the middle, and say, look, you might have enough splash damage to win one little concentrated area, but you can't fight in 3 places at once. And you can see another tank bio push on the front. The Marines need to get out of there, though. That's a lot of Archon Colossus. Yeah, he's got to get out of here. That drop on the left side needs to do some damage. Each time the tank goes down like that, that's a little problematic for him. The drop on the left, though, if it can get in and do damage, that'd be nice. MaxPax is still hanging on, clutching for dear life. Double drop on the left, ready to hit the natural. Bio on the right. The Observer gets some very important vision for young MaxPax. He does move out of scan range. Gumiho drops another. Promptly removes that map vision. Plus 3 armor, plus 3 attack on the way. Right now it's 2-2 against 2-2 as plus 2 armor kicks in for the Terran. Gumiho dropping the left side, but Gumiho, I mean, he's running into a MaxPax that's well prepared. Colossus going to pick at you, and he does save most of those units, gets out. At least he doesn't sacrifice his army. Units lost type is now 3,000 resources in favor of Gumiho. But where's the 5th base? Remember that 5th base got cancelled like 3 minutes ago? Gumiho's only replacing it now. His main's almost mined out. His natural, almost mined out. He's got to keep taking expansion. So now he builds 2 command centers, but there's a Zealot there killing that SCV. He might have to even cancel that command center. This is a huge victory for MaxPax. And Gumiho's max, but with no ghosts. Which means Archons are so good at stopping this style. Archons are so good. Archon's normally very weak to ghosts, but without having ghosts in your arsenal, suddenly that Archon that's normally very good against Zerg, not so good against Terran, becomes a useful unit. Stalker Archon coming forward right now. Trying to fight around this area. Force Field Archon Colossus Splash is incredibly scary in that area. Oh, man. Oh, me, oh, my. Dot just brought me food! Best wife. Oh, big bad fight here for MaxPax, I think. As long as the bio breaks free and gets away, that's huge. Double drop in the left side of the natural. The Zealots will try to deal with that, but he's in a good position. Robo Bay will go down. I think MaxPax just spent a lot of Zealots and didn't really catch that much of the bio. It looked like he was trying to do a trap on him, but he didn't quite pull it off. Marine Marauder trying to defend over here. The Robo Bay's gone down, which is a big snipe. But Gumiho will bleed out those units. MaxPax is down on army supply. He has to be careful. Dude, if he gets EMP'd, he's dead. Run, MaxPax, run! Okay, yeah, that army is just a bit unsupported right now. He's building 2 Immortals at a time, rebuilding his Robo Bay very slowly. Laboring his way through this game. MaxPax is looking kind of unkillable in general this game because things keep going wrong, but he just won't die. Gumiho, on the other hand, is in charge for most of this game. Zealot on the right side does go down. That bio pulls back, but look at this. He dives on the right, and that should be an easy Nexus snipe. EMP's the Nexus there. Make sure no recall is possible. Zealots come forward, though, and he backs away. He respects the Protoss. Good save by MaxPax with the battery overcharge, healing that Nexus. So he brought its shields back up all the way to full. Its hull, of course, will never return. The same structural integrity, not going to be there. And we've got 2 more command centers building here. Turrets as well. +2 ship weapons is on the way. I don't think we've seen a fusion core yet, though. Gumiho was struggling with gas earlier in this game. I don't think he is anymore. He's got a little bit of a gas bank. I'd like to see that transition. Second starport's finally coming in. I mean, that's only a second starport. That's crazy how much he delayed that. The fact that MaxPax is maxed out is really bad for Gumiho. Gumiho is much weaker in the late game. Now, you might be thinking, what are you talking about, Pig? He's a master of range libs. Yeah, normally he gets the range libs out at like 9 minutes. Sometimes Gumiho does a 3-base range lib rush, but this time it's late game. This is a big Protoss with a lot of room for error, and that's hard because Gumiho needs to do really good micro in the late game. Now, in his favor, there's not many disruptors. And disruptors, I think, are the big problem for a guy like Gumiho who doesn't quite have Clem or Maru's Marine splits. But his army's still kind of Marine heavy here. Very weak to the Colossus Archon. EMPs are good, but the Colossus are roasting a lot of those Marines. Disruptor shot to cover his retreat as well. Good micro by MaxPax in the middle as well. He's got another big army on the left, so he's got kind of 2 armies here. Fusion core's almost done. Lib range is very, very late. Command center's going to float down. Disruptor coming forward. It's chili, by the way, for those who are wondering. Big pot of chili. We cast these weekly cups live every Tuesday morning my time, Monday afternoon or evening if you're in North America or Europe. The Zealots are going to take out the siege tank. Nice move there. But does get cleaned up. He's going to push on the planetary. Disruptors! Gumiho with some big dodges. Is it enough, though? The command center is not a planetary in the north. Oh, a massive disruptor! Those disruptors causing big problems for Gumiho, as I expected. MaxPax a little bit stronger once you get to big maxed out armies than Gumiho, especially because Gumiho was just so slow in preparing for the late game. He really showed that he did not want to play this stage of the game. He wanted to win without ghosts, without liberators, but MaxPax just hung on, surviving on a knife's edge for 19 minutes, and he manages a very impressive Game 1 victory. All right, after a few mouthfuls of beautifully spicy chili and rice, I am back here ready to cast Game 2. MaxPax, honestly, an amazing job just surviving Game 1. Very kind of Serral-esque in 2018, just like, oh god, he's caught off guard. Oh god, they're doing a cheeky build. They're almost, oh, he's dead. He's gonna die. He won't die. He won't die. He's refusing to die, and then he eventually wins. That was a very impressive comeback from MaxPax. Gumiho's gonna float into the main. Oh, you're kidding me. Are we doing Marauder inside the main? Is this even good anymore? Tries to hide the factory behind the base, does not pull it off. Probe sees it. Oh, he's going to try and drive a Hellion across the map, isn't he? I think he should have just built the factory at the wall off. I think he was hoping to fake out MaxPax and make MaxPax think it was like a Marine tank proxy. Really old school one. Oh, MaxPax checks! He checks. So you still build Marauders here, put them in the corner, but you're not going to get much damage done anymore. This is rough. Because what he can do is he can just put a Zealot in the choke point, and the Zealot kind of counters the Marauder real hard. Yeah, he can take out the tech lab as well. But we just want to run your probe away here. I don't think you even need a shield battery, though. And, I mean, the Marauder can kill a probe or two, so good on him. He'll get this probe, but what else can he get done here? Not much. He's going to go after more probes, realizing, well, I'm not going to kill anything else. I'm not going to have concussive. I might as well just try and get this 4th hit on these probes. Look at that. MaxPax with his pullback micro is slick. He loses 1 probe, gets a Marauder, gets a tech lab. Now, the Marauder technically can beat the Stalker, but with the Zealot on top of him, very unlikely. And that build works well if they don't scout, or if you do it with like a second barracks or something. But yeah, the float in the main. If they realize it's late, and right now they're dealing with 3 Marauders in the main, then your Hellion drives in, kills a bunch of probes on the natural, and it gets out of control. But MaxPax, really good scouting very early on, shuts it down, and Gumiho's tricky build order is not finding the mark. Now, I told you guys it sucks to play against Gumiho in these tournaments, right? When you play against high-level players, often you can cut some corners, do a clever strategy. You just don't have room to do that. Playing against Gumiho is just a dreadful, stressful effort to survive from start to finish. And you can see, even for MaxPax, right? Like, look at this crazy opening he's dealt with, but he's done it very well. He does find himself ahead. That's the difference between MaxPax and average Joes. He knows how to deal with things and immediately counterattack. Look at this decisiveness. You can't escape, mate. Gumiho's going to tap out. That is a smackdown. Maximus, Paximus. What the hell, man? GG, well played. All right. We got a grand finals. ESL NA week 226. MaxPax in the bottom left for Psystorm. And herO is once again trying to off-race versus MaxPax. I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to use up his builds before Dallas, but he tried this the other week. It did not go well. He got absolutely savaged. To be fair, his opening wasn't bad, but I don't think herO's good enough, like, systematically for Terran macro. He can do some good cheesy stuff, but I just don't think he can play a good macro game due to the way he, like, F2s so much. And he's so chaotic. I mean, just look at his building placement. And you're already like, what is this? But to be fair, I'll give it credit where it's due. He made MaxPax sweat a little bit last time. It's just, we've already seen MaxPax survive Gumiho, who is a whirlwind of chaos and cheese and weirdness. And if he can survive Gumiho, I don't think herO playing Terran is the best shot. Gumiho, you might think, well, herO is just so bad at PvP. That's why he's trying this. He can't beat MaxPax. Him and MaxPax are 50-50. It's literally like one guy wins, then the other guy wins. They are 50% over a lot of series. So it's kind of funny that herO's like, I really do think he's trying to, like, he has some ideas, but he kind of doesn't want to give them away until after the big event. So I think he's like, you know, at best, even if I'd play my best, 50% win chance, but I don't want to give away too much of the info. And I want to really kind of save my best builds, even though it's like 3 weeks away. It's a while away. So doing that this early is kind of crazy. Could just be because he's herO and he likes doing crazy stuff. Command Center is so late. So late. This is an incredibly fast Widow Mine drop that he's going to come out with. He's going to build a tech lab on the factory, and that Widow Mine drop will move out just after the Adepts have moved. Now, second and third gateway do go down. Second gate's already up. As Warp Gate finishes, he can warp in a few Stalkers at home. And he's mining out the left side. No, he's just building a spotting pylon to see where this drop comes from. Now, the Adepts did not see the Command Center timing. It is hidden in the back. Here comes the drop, though. Ooh-wee. Stalkers are in position. Probes just going to pull away. Put a few probes back there. As long as you just sacrifice a few probes, you'll be fine. Oh, you don't want to lose a Stalker, though, my friend. A little slow to put another probe there, but that's okay. The unburrow is a bit too fancy. I think the Stalkers will kill that before it can burrow again, and looks like he should have just taken the extra probe kill there. herO gets 2 probes, mining time. It's okay, but it's not enough. Not for such a fast drop. Not for one that hits this early. His natural's still not done. Now he's going to come back in one more time. Blink is not quite ready, so he will be able to kill one more probe. Oh, and MaxPax just drills onto it, realizing with the probe damage added to it, by drilling his probes through so they can all attack it, he actually is able to kill that before it burrows. Very nice. So guys, we've heard peanut butter and pickles is apparently a really good sandwich combination. I know today's cast has all been about food, but I'm going to try it. I love pickles. I do love peanut butter. So I will try it, even though it sounds insane. Here we go, guys. Stalker's rotating left. Good scan. Is it enough, though? Oh! Oh, the Observer gets out of there. And now the Stalker's blink in, and the Observer goes straight back into the scan. That's a real bait there from MaxPax. Could take out the Banshee if he wanted to, but he went for the Reactor, which is really good because you know he can't pull a Reactor away from you. He gets the Banshee. Probably worth losing a few Stalkers there. Another Banshee is there. Gets in. He recalls the Observers and the Stalkers. The moment that Observer gets in vision, that's going to go down real fast. Good job. Good pullback by herO. herO actually got 7 probes with this. Unfortunately, third base is halfway done, so that means MaxPax is going to bounce out and recover. To be fair, herO's on 35 workers. Actually, yeah, he's not too bad. He didn't stack his workers, and he's been muling one of his middle patches, which is why he lost a middle patch 2.5 minutes earlier than you're meant to. So guys, you always want to mule on these closer patches because they mine 225 minerals, whereas if you just mule them anywhere, they on the further patches they only mine a little bit. Like this patch here, he'll barely run out one trip sooner, which means 200 minerals mined instead of 225, and that patch will disappear much quicker than these other patches that are a bit closer and have more minerals on them. They're not always closer, by the way. That rule, the first rule doesn't always apply, but it does most of the time. And once again, you see that mule's going to go on that other patch. So herO's disorganization with his muling, very common for an off-race player. Even some main race Terrans make this mistake, but it will add up. We can see he's already down 2 potential worker mining spots in the main, which puts more pressure on him to secure more bases earlier, something we know he does not want to do. Stalkers are going to go after the reactor. That one will go down nice and fast. Tech Lab, though, Stim is exposed a little, but he didn't want to go into tank range. Stalkers pick off the reactor, a few SCVs, a couple Marines are going to go down as well. The tanks come forward. He might even be able to focus a tank if he really wants to. He leaves a few Stalkers on the ground there. Maybe not the most perfect micro from MaxPax, but damage is damage. 2 slow Zealots and a Sentry deflecting an 8 Marine drop. Banshee in the back still threatening both mineral lines, but Stalkers are, of course, ready to blink from the high ground to the low and back and forth. The Banshee barely survives. Now, the big problem with doing this sort of pressure is herO can't F2, and that's the only way herO knows how to control his army normally. So it's going to be really rough. Oh, good op pickup, good op pickup. He's got so few units here. That Observer sees everything. Is he pushing with 4 tanks, a Marauder, a Marine, and a Widowmine right now? I mean, maybe he's just trying to push the tanks, the Stalkers away a little bit, control the high ground, but he should not keep attacking. To continue attacking here would be about as insane a thing as you could possibly do, and he does wisely pull back. He just has so little bio. Remember what I was talking about? The barracks production's not that great? Well, in this case, it wasn't really herO's macro. It's more his inability to defend the reactors on the barracks. He's lost multiple reactors. You can see it up here. That's lost him a good 10 Marines or so of production, and 2 Marauders, 12 Marines, 5 tanks. That's not the sort of ratio you're normally looking for, is it? War Prism ready to go in the main. Charge is finished. These Zealots are going to be a real problem maker. I just don't have faith in herO's ability to defend his mineral lines. Not without Warpins, you know. It's so tough. These sort of scenarios is where he's really going to struggle. And even that, 2 Zealots get saved. Drops them to go deal with the Marines. Starts warping in a few more. Zealots are so good against Marines in low numbers. Marine does get on top of the War Prism, as does the Liberator. In the middle of the map, tanks and bio are dealing with it. Zealot Stalker gathering up. herO's down 20 workers. If MaxPax gets away with this, it's just going to be wild. And look at that, he's even got enough. He takes down a tank. Another tank gets picked off. 3 tanks are gone. Make it 4, make it 5. That is just an absolute floor wiping. And I don't know about you fans. I like seeing herO mix it up, but I have never rated herO's off-race as particularly great. I think he's okay with his off-race, but when it comes to taking down MaxPax, I mean, come on. That is just such an impossible task. I hope he goes back to PvP. All right, well, that's a nice way to start off the series for MaxPax, but we're going into Dynasty, and herO's back to Protoss. Exactly what we wanted. Exactly what we wanted. Probe's going to come in nice and early for MaxPax, a bit safer for him. And it is going to be a 2-gate. Now, meanwhile, MaxPax is looking much more poised to take the gold base. That's risky, though. I don't think the gold base makes sense on this map. I think the gold base is a massive trap in PvP. I actually don't like peanut sauce. I think it's kind of shiz, says Sunbay. Spring rolls deserve better. I don't know what that peanut sauce would be like. I think you mean like, I mean, if you're having like a proper satay sauce, it's really good. Should have a thick peanutty flavor. If you're doing, I mean, better than like the fried spring rolls generally suck in general. There's some good ones, but the Vietnamese rice paper rolls are much better. And you want those with a hoisin sauce with some crushed peanuts and chili. That's how you do that one, gang. I've had some watery peanut sauces that aren't that great as well, where I'm just like, oh, this does not have the joy of peanut butter within it, you know? It doesn't have enough intensity. A thin or watery peanut sauce is not good. I agree with that, for sure. Okay, guys, we got Proxy Robo. herO's just going for broke. He hasn't scouted anything. He's just like, nah, we're just going to Proxy Robo literally right outside your base. Like, if anything moves past here, it's going to see this. And MaxPax, oh, he's just so close. Okay, he sees it. This is big. Because he's here early enough, he can kill a pylon. Obviously, the probe's just going to try and distract him. It's like, hey, waste time attacking me. Waste time attacking me. But MaxPax doesn't waste any time. Only a single attack on the probe. Probe has to put down another pylon because it's about to die. The Adept wasn't microed perfectly there. MaxPax could have killed that probe, but it's okay. He's going to shut that down either way. Probe could potentially finish this off, and indeed he's trying to. He's trying to finish that probe off. One pylon goes down. The Zealot's still hanging out here, which is kind of crazy. But herO actually... Oh, man. herO messed up his micro. You do not want to lose that Adept. Oh, but MaxPax a little bit slow to chase as well. And that Shade went out first for MaxPax. MaxPax should get one hit off. Not enough to finish him, though. Survives on one hit point. This Adept has to run away. There is an Oracle first. Battery coming up in the natural. Stalker's out front. Got to be careful with that. And I honestly don't know how you defend your natural here as MaxPax. Unless the Oracle can kill the Stalkers, which I don't think it possibly can. I think MaxPax may be dead. Yeah, battery finishes just in time. This is like a MaxPax special. His batteries always finish just in time. But, oh man, he didn't pull back. That's a huge mistake. And he should have pulled straight left to get to the battery healing. MaxPax, he was too busy worrying about this Adept shading in. Losing that Stalker is a death sentence. That is so bad, man. This pylon's going down, which means he loses his one gate. Void Ray! Prismatic alignment, though. Oh, he's going to get one Stalker. And he takes a bit of damage on the Void Ray, but as the batteries come up, he doesn't have any healing available. Only in the natural, not in the main. Those Stalkers go down, maybe. Prism comes up. He's going to warp more Stalkers in. It's only 2 gate right now for herO, guys. The Oracle killed 8 probes on the other side of the map. It killed 8 probes! herO needs to do more work. Looks like the Immortal did go down. The Void Ray managed to kill a Stalker and an Immortal. Another Stalker goes down to the Void Ray. Probes are pushing back these Stalkers. This is big. herO needs more damage. I think MaxPax has defended it, man. MaxPax is so good defending off a knife's edge like this. I don't know how he does this so regularly. It's insane. He's probing right now. He's so chill. He's so relaxed. I'm here on the edge of my seat. Bloody veins popping out of my neck going, whoa, you're going to die. MaxPax is like, I've done this before and I shall do it again. I'm not a coward. And I do not need to play these silly one-base openings in PvP. I'm basically the only guy who can defend just about anything with a one-gate expand. What a savage. Ooh. Fried spring rolls, why? Oh, in Australia we call the fried ones spring rolls. You guys might have a different name for them where you are. The rice paper rolls are the fresh ones. Yeah, 2 very different products. You guys must have a different name for them. What are the little fried rolls called, guys? Do they have a special name? Wherever you are in the world, let us know. It's like a miniature version. Very rarely very good in comparison. Prism's going to pull back. I mean, herO's just desperate, though. He's down 7 probes. 2 Void Rays chasing. Don't cut a corner. herO? Yeah, just keep going straight. Because if you cut the corner, you turn north, you get caught. This feels like a hold. I mean, to be fair, no, that's huge. Void Ray just YOLOs the Stalkers, gets one of them. Oh, Prismatic Alignment's too good here. Even if you get a Stalker, he's, trying to do hot pickup micro, but, the other Void Ray barely survives. He does save 3 Stalkers, so what was that? There was like 4, 5 Stalkers for 2 Void Rays, but you lose control of the Robo as well. He's going to try and counter drop, which is a great move. Oracle comes in. He could go Stasis Trap, or you can turn the laser on. I actually prefer the laser to the Stasis Trap here. The reason being, if he doesn't overcharge, he's going to run out of energy on the battery, and you will actually still kill probes. Whereas all this does is distract him. This is a bit more jolting, dealing with the Stasis Trap, and it's a bit more immediate, you could say, in terms of its damage. As those units have to get pulled off mining straight away. But remember, Oracle does 22 damage a hit. You've only got 20 shields. So you take 2 damage, 10 hits for an Oracle to kill a probe. It's not fast, but if you've got a lot of energy, you can just sit there slowly killing them, forcing them to warp in Stalkers at home. Now, there's still no Robo, which really weakens MaxPax's position normally. The fact that he's up in army supply with batteries and this many units, like, it just seems tough. And he keeps sacrificing probes to see the rotation because he's got the economy to afford that. Oracle's going to go for another Stasis Trap soon. Void Ray Stalker hanging out at the front. MaxPax is just looking rock solid. He's holding up the shield wall. And herO is desperately trying to break it. You know, it feels like MaxPax is the Roman Legion here, shield to shield. herO is the bloody army of berserkers wielding their big 2-handed swords and shields above there. They're just trying to smash through. They charge, they scream, they stomp the floor. It's very intimidating. But if they can't break the shield wall, they gas out. Once the fight gets cramped, they can't keep up. And the guys with the big shields covering each other's backs and sides just end up scaling way better in an organized fight and grinding their opponent down. And That's what's going to happen here. The Oracle went back in, started killing those... actually killed the shield battery in this game, guys, which is what we missed there at the end. That's what prompted him to finally leave. So that's another thing you could do. Instead of going through the battery overcharge, you could just kill the battery itself and then kill the probes, and that'll do it. All right, well, this series is kind of rough right now. And the scoreboard's the wrong way around. There we go. MaxPax in the top left, just killing it. Defending with ease, business as usual. And herO is throwing everything he's got at him, but MaxPax is rock solid. And there's not enough... I mean, picking Terran, you know herO is just going to be crazy aggressive. MaxPax played really safe, shut it down. Game 2, he goes for a very obvious, really aggressive build once again. And it is what it is. Yeah, so we've come to some conclusions about naming conventions. So in America, you guys just call any fried spring roll or roll an egg roll. Whereas you guys call... Those are what we would call a spring roll. In Australia is the fried one. And what you guys call a summer roll, the rice paper rolls... Or you guys call a spring roll. We would call a summer roll, usually just a rice paper roll, Vietnamese roll. The good ones. The good shit is what I like to call those, because they're just better. They're just better. Especially, it depends how they're packed. Sometimes they put too many vegetables in it. The best ones have prawns and pork in it, as well as some good green stuff. And they're good. Dot's mum makes some bangers, man. They're so good. All right, nice pylon block here for herO coming in. MaxPax doesn't bother with it, though, because he's seen the second gas. He's seen double unit production. He's like, you can't afford a Nexus right now. I don't need to block you. Stargate versus Stargate. Much earlier Stargate for MaxPax. I think MaxPax goes Oracle here, but there is an argument that going Phoenix... No, he kind of has to go Oracle on one gate. I don't think there's a choice. I don't think you can go Phoenix in this scenario. We'll keep our eyes on it. Because the Oracle just... It's more of a threat. A single Phoenix, not that good. Even once you get 2 or 3 Phoenix... It just doesn't represent the same fear factor, the ability to kill probes and do an immediate damage. Depth's trying to come in. Ooh, here we go. Depth's coming forward. Stalker and Adept's coming in. That shade blocking him. Only shades and buildings can block other shades, guys. But there we go. Cancel at the last second. herO has to back off 4 Adepts. Oh, he's doing the old 6 Adept into Phoenix. Phoenix to shut down the counter Oracle, but the Oracle doesn't get used for the probes. It just gets used for the Adepts, and that's massive damage. Getting 2 Adepts like that is huge. And now the Stalker and Adepts are chasing him down as well. Oh, this is really good for MaxPax. No Nexus down just yet for herO. herO needs to find big value, but he's already lost 2 of his 6 Adepts, which is such a huge loss. With a battery, these 3 units, I think MaxPax is pretty fine. Now, the Phoenix will be able to shut down the Oracle and then have air control. There's a Void Ray building because MaxPax is like, what's happening? He saw no Nexus and he's kind of freaking out. Adepts do climb inside the main. The Zealot, Adept, Stalker will be able to defend eventually. 2 more Adepts running into the base right now. These Adepts not really focus firing very well. They finally get a second probe. The other 2 Adepts are going to shade in. No! Looks like they got cleaned up by the Oracle or something like that. Oh, looks like they were getting killed. 1 Oracle goes down to the Phoenix at the same time. 6 probes fall. Sounds like a lot. It's not. Because that Nexus just started. herO needs to get a big worker advantage here, because look how quickly the probes are rebuilding for MaxPax. He is miles ahead. The Oracle is now going to go around the edge of the map, because he knows the Phoenix are going to come pick off some probes. I'll send my Oracle around the edge and do it that way. He's got 2 Gate Stalker weapons, so MaxPax, he's going to go double Twilight. Uh-oh. Oh, no! Right when victory's within his grasp, MaxPax panics and goes double Twilight. herO, I'm surprised he's not dropping question marks. He's probably just counting his lucky blessings that his opponent's panicking and building 2 of the same tech structure. There's a lot of fighting going on here, though, so we'll see if MaxPax notices since his eyes are in this location. Twilight finishes. There we go. He cancels the second one. At least he gets most of that refunded there. Maybe could have warped in another Stalker earlier if that wasn't the case. Oracle comes forward, and he will grab 1, 2... No, only 1 probe. Oh, unless he's got recall available, he's not going to get too much damage. I like that he targeted the probe that was out of vision. And he does save it. Nice. You can use this for revelation, stasis traps. It's also your only detection in this game, so keeping it alive is very important if you want to skip Robo as long as possible. So the consensus we also came to after me saying there was a consensus on the naming conventions of spring rolls is a bunch of people had different names for it as well. So that's awesome. You have to eat spring rolls with nok mam or fish sauce? No, you don't. That's totally wrong. Come to Australia, hoisin sauce, crushed peanuts, way better, guys. Don't get me wrong, both of those sauces are good. And I love them with certain things. Like if I'm having the fried rolls in like a vermicelli bowl with some like pork and salad and stuff. Yeah, definitely. Give me that nok mam. But otherwise, no way, man. No. If it's the old rice paper rolls with the fresh ingredients, dude, give me that hoisin. Give me that hoisin life. I don't care if it's the original way to do it or not. It's the Sydney way, man. Ooh, that's an odd pickup for herO there, guys. I think MaxPax is just going to kill him now, right? This is a pretty scary counterattack. I mean, MaxPax is down on workers. Does he have the numbers? 11 stalkers is so many with Blink. He already gets one. Oh, there's no way this third is going to survive. Oracle does get caught on the right side of the map. That's a good catch for herO, but he's going to lose his third base. Oracle does go down before it can do any damage. I think the stalkers should just go win the game. Dark Shrine's there. He lost the Oracle. No Robo building. herO's just trying to hang on and win with DTs. DTs will eventually kill MaxPax, but that's an eventually. That's not a right now. He needs a DT at home. He's going to warp a DT in at home to help defend these stalkers. It will do a lot of damage. The stalkers and the probes trying to hang on. This game is an utter poop shoot right now. It is a show of the chaos. Someone just did their dunce into a paper bag, filled it with water, and is now thrown it into a ceiling fan. Now you better duck and cover, ladies and gentlemen. The Robo on the natural, he needs to target it. Robo gets cancelled. He's going to build it at the proxy instead. Smart move for MaxPax. MaxPax is going to go for the Robo at the proxy. He's also building an Oracle. That Oracle ain't getting up, though. That Oracle ain't getting up. MaxPax, you got to build the Robo down here, bro. If he builds that Robo, he can win this game. But right now, he's starting to lose stalkers to the DTs. He's got to micro these stalkers. He's got to keep moving, otherwise the DTs will rip him apart. As long as he's moving, the DTs don't do that much damage. But whenever he stops to shoot, the DTs get a few hits in, and these stalkers are getting heavily damaged. Right now, the DTs are killing the Stargate. There's no Robo. Robo starts on the proxy. That's huge. The Robo on the proxy is the spot. And there's no DT going there. If there's no DT going there, MaxPax should be able to win this game. MaxPax has brought his own probes into his opponent's base like a mad lad because he knows it's a base trade. Nexus on the right side as well. Another Stalker does go down. The DT is struggling to get the damage. They need the damage. He's trying to anticipate where the Stalkers are going to move to, but MaxPax blinks are absolutely fluid. Probes are killing his third base. herO does not know about the new Robo. Yes, he's killing the main and the natural, but he just doesn't have anything else, and MaxPax gets him at the perfect time. Here we go. Stalker's pulling to the left as well. Ooh, Stalker's moving to the right side. My man. My man. I think MaxPax is just looking too good, and I really hope that this picking Terran thing is kind of just a meme for smaller cups. I want to see herO bring out his best builds, and because I feel like MaxPax, he doesn't come to land, right? So, to be fair, there's an argument behind, well, you should just use your best builds against him here. But I think herO wants to hide his best builds so Classic, so Trap, so these other guys don't know about it. We might actually see Trap back in Dallas if he gets into the open stage. Archon does get taken out. Stalkers pick that off. And that is that. MaxPax is going to take it out. I really think herO can take MaxPax on. He's still roughly 50-50 in win rate even after this series. You've just got to take into account the fact that right now he's playing a bit silly. He's not really confident playing one gate versus MaxPax, and that's a problem he needs to fix. Otherwise, MaxPax is going to say, hey, you're too predictable, and I know how to defend everything you've got. MaxPax gets another 3-0. GG, well played.